Big Z Sports now in Navarre as our two-a-day series continues to roll on here, and we are talking those Fairless Falcons. Adam Ciereszewski, Nick McWiliams. Adam, whenever it comes to Fairless last season, they had to gut out a lot of things because, unfortunately, this was a team that was bit hard by that injury bug. Nobody was making excuses related to that, and I know they are hungry for an improvement on last year.
No, and I know that Coach Sarbaugh, it was one of those things. He said he had never dealt with anything like that because once they felt like they had things moving in the right direction, another key piece would get hurt. They'd have to, get into that bench one more time. But, with the losses that they have going into this year of graduated seniors like Carson Colucci, Andy Gill, Gio Moore, those were some big pieces to definitely the Falcon offense and a little bit on the defensive side of the ball. So those guys that got that time due to the injury bug of those starters, it may be beneficial for Coach Sarbaugh.
Well, something to definitely watch. We have a name that we know for sure that we're going to be looking for and hoping that he's going to have a full season. Somebody they missed at various times last year was Peter Killey. And if he is going to be fully healthy, we'd have to imagine that might be your bell cow on offense, but it remains to be seen.
Absolutely. And, again, this Falcon program is just that. It's a program. But, yes, from the outside looking in, the guys that don't know all the ins and the outs of the program, you would just think it may be the Peter Killey show this year.
Well, let's see if we get any insight from head coach AJ Sarbaugh. I think he's going to play it close to the chest, but we're going to find out here on this two-a-day segment. Big Z Sports back again with two-a-day segments. We're with the Fairless Falcons up here in Navarre, and it's head coach AJ Sarbaugh for those Falcons. Coach, first and foremost, always so happy to be back up here. I always got to say, you guys have just a phenomenal facility. I know you take a lot of pride in it.
Yeah, we do. Thanks for being here. We love when Big Z Sports is here, but obviously we put the turf in 19. We just redid the home bleachers, so people are excited about that. We're going to redo the home bleachers soon. We've got the new school, so good things are happening here. Big things are happening. We're always trying to improve our facilities, and like you said, they do mean a lot to us.
Now, something that we said coming down here, Adam and myself, we were talking about your guys' season last year. Obviously, there's always room for improvement. You guys had to deal with something that everybody has to deal with, but it seemed to really get to you guys at times, the injury bug. It was an unfortunate thing you had to deal with week in and week out, it almost seemed like.
Yeah, it really did. And like you said, that's kind of how our season went. Peter Killey, as we just talked about, got hurt quarter one, week one. And then we kind of figure things out. And then Anthony Stutler, who we moved back to running back, has a great game at Triway, had 150 yards in a win. We get the 2-2, and then he gets hurt. Then we lose a couple linemen throughout the year, and it was just one of those years. That's football. It's life. We battled through it. I thought we got better as the year went on, but obviously you always knock on wood, and in order to have a successful season, you got to stay healthy.
Now, it's going to be the biggest question, I know, for Fairless coming in here. Carson Colucci, no longer here, obviously graduating, did great things for your guys' program through the past couple of years. Who do you turn to now?
Yeah, Carson had an unbelievable career, like you said, and besides quarterback, he finished 6th all-time in Stark County history passing yards. So when you think about guys that have come through Stark County, and Carson was a 4-year starter on defense, punter, holder. We wish him the best of luck at Wheeling. Had a great career here. But we're really excited. Mikey Ritterbeck's going to be our guy. He's a sophomore, started at shortstop last year as a freshman. He was in the top 5 in Stark County for RBIs, 3-sport athlete, really hard-working kid, very coachable. He's literally one of our first kids in the locker room every day. Like I said, plays 3 sports, doesn't miss anything. So we're looking forward to a new chapter in regards to quarterback play and what Mikey Ritterbeck and we can do this year.
Now, we definitely want to talk about the skill positions on offense, too. You're going to be replacing a lot there as well. How's the offensive line also shaping up in terms of what you guys are feeling in terms of seniority and, who's kind of establishing themselves as a front runner?
So due to those injuries and everything, actually, besides Carson and our tight end, we've got a lot of spots back. Up front, we have 5 of our top 6 linemen back. We have 6 guys that actually started a game at some point last year. With Peter Killey back, we got to replace Gio Moore. So we've got a couple people competing at tight end, fullback, H-back right now. But skill-wise, Cam Carl's back at the slot. Zach Gilkerson started 2 or 3 games for us at Z, and Anthony Stutler's back for us at X. So I think we have more people back than people realize due to those injuries or they got experience, but now you got to go play.
Without a doubt. When it comes to the defensive side of the ball, whenever you have some injuries on offense, you lean heavily on your defense. They're the ones who have to, get that offense back on the field, but obviously limit the opposing team. How are you feeling defensively? You guys really pride yourselves on some hard-nosed defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Defense is going to win you games at the end of the day. You got to get stops in order to give your offense the ball and have a chance. Very similar to offense. We had some guys that stepped in and played a lot last year. Zach Gilkerson ended up starting. Mikey Ritterbeck started. Zach Long played at linebacker. We had some younger guys play up front. Dylan Stevens started at nose guard as a freshman. He's a sophomore. So we have quite a bit of guys back on that side of the ball. Hopefully Peter Killey can play some linebacker as well for us. Lost him being injured, but we have a lot of experience there, and we want those guys to take the next step this year. I think now they know what they're doing, and now they need to do it fast and physical and be relentless on that side of the ball.
And just one last thing I had for you. Adam and I were talking beforehand. The old adage is success breeds success. And last year was a little bit tougher than you guys have been used to over the past couple of years. Seeing the amount of numbers that you guys have here on the sidelines, looks like all the spirits are still high even after coming off of a rough season. So having those previous years where you had all that kind of success, how much can that help you on a year like this when you're trying to go in a little bit different direction?
I think our kids still expect to win and have success, like you said. I mean, obviously we started out 0-2 last year. We finished 4-7. We lost 4 games by a touchdown or less, and 3 of those games we were tied in the fourth quarter. But if you look at our last 5 weeks of the season, CVCA was a really good football team. We were down 7-0 at halftime. Then we play Kansas South, who got to the state final or state semis. We lose by a touchdown, beat Manchester, beat Tuslaw, and then we went to South Range in the playoffs, which I think was a great learning experience for our kids. They were obviously state champs 2 years ago, but with all those young kids, they got to see what a playoff environment looks like, travel a long way, play against a very physical football team, and it was a touchdown game at halftime. And then they wore us down, and they were a better football team. But I think those last 5 weeks have really pushed our momentum into this year, where we had a good off season. Our kids are working hard. They don't want to have a 4-7 season like last year. And like you said, we've never been over 50 since I've been here. We were in around 38, 40 those first 3 or 4 years. Last 2 years we were 45, and we're at about 53 this year. So it's a numbers game, and we're excited to have all those guys out.
Without a doubt. Well, thank you as always, Coach, for your time, and we look forward to seeing the Falcons really soon, early on in the season.
We're excited to have you here, and we got you in that top spot in the press box, so we're looking forward to Big Z Sports being here in Fairless, Ohio.
Head Coach AJ Sarbaugh for the Fairless Falcons. This is another two-a-days segment. We'll wrap things up here shortly. Thank you again to Coach Sarbaugh and for all of the Fairless Falcons and everybody here. Always great hospitality as we get from every place that we go. I think there's going to be some cautious optimism for things going on in this Fairless Falcons program. This is a program that has had a lot of success over the last few years. And what do they say? Success breeds success. So that should help out.
Absolutely. And, the adversity that they faced last year, it's only going to make this program stronger. And it will be exciting to see how the Falcons attack the 2024 campaign. And how cool is it for the third straight year, Big Z Sports is going to start their coverage with that epic Sandy Valley Fairless game in Magnolia this year.
Yeah, well, there's your spoiler. There's the one thing we've given away for our schedule. Yeah, we'll definitely be following the Falcons all season long like we're doing with all of our area teams. That is it for another two-a-day segment. Nick and Adam will be back at a high school near you soon.